All right. Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 18. Is it 18?
Yes.
18. This is a socially distanced edition of the podcast.
Yes.
And we're doing our part, Lamar, to flatten the curve.
Yep. Doing our part. Hardly going outside. Yeah, they're trying to open up Florida soon, and yeah, I think I posted this on Facebook. I don't trust it. I'm not. I'm still not going out like that. Like I just went to get groceries, and then I might go see my mother. That's probably the most I've been out like this whole week.
Oh, yeah. Are you wearing a mask?
I do have a mask. I wear a mask when I go running. I try to wear a mask every time I go, but it depends. Like if I'm going to be like around a bunch of people, then I wear a mask. But Aldi's wasn't that bad.
Yeah, okay.
So
I was thinking about buying a shredder mask from Turtles.
you might as well.
Just wear that. I mean, it's a pretty good mask. It covers his mouth and everything. I think that would be awesome. They didn't say what kind of mask you have to wear.
No, they didn't.
Well, speaking of flattening the curve,
But
we've got a very special movie today. PMS Cop.
Yes, PMS Cop, and I want to start off this episode by saying we have no disrespect towards women. Yeah. This is an actual film. I found it on Amazon, and I was like, we have to review this one.
And that's the thing that was interesting about this movie because, and I guess we'll get more into this later as we start the review part, but when you see a title, PMS Cop, you're expecting something kind of offensive, I suppose.
Very offensive.
But before we get into that, let's just run it down.
Well,
it starts off interesting.
Very interesting. A woman is by herself taking a shower, and she is sexually assaulted by a clown.
A clown. Now, here's the thing. It's implied that the clown is a rapist, that he rapes her.
Yes.
You don't actually see any of that, so that's okay. But it's like making animal balloons still. He's like a clown rapist, but as he rapes, I guess he makes animal balloons.
Yes. That was my biggest fear. I didn't know if he was going to use the balloons, what the balloons were going to do. But he was actually, because she was tied up and he was still making stuff. So it's like.
That was strange.
That was very weird. Very specific for this criminal.
But I guess it was their way of trying to make it seem like this is complete. This is not to be taken serious. This is just there's that, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
So then the police arrived, and it's Mary and her partner. I didn't catch his name.
No.
And eventually they catch the clown, and he's a son of a bitch rapist, and she beats the shit out of him.
Yes.
And everybody's angry at her because she beats the shit out of the rapist clown.
Because they don't want to offend the clown community.
Yeah.
That was what the whole thing. They didn't want to offend the clown community about this. So.
Yeah, and then even like the reporters, though, like a reporter was interviewing her, and like everyone's just angry at this woman because she beat the shit out of a clown. So the police chief or whatever sends her to anger management because they say
after she has to apologize.
Yeah, she has to apologize, and they send her to anger management, and then you have the worst psychiatrist ever.
Horrible. Yeah, we gotta talk about that because of course cops go through a lot of things, what they see, and they're talking, and then she's just like, no, the psychiatrist is like, well, I don't usually ask this, but are you PMSing?
Well, first I think he had asked her, like, where do you think your anger is coming from? And she tells him this story about, like, what was she, like, abused or something as a child?
And fostered, he's like, teased.
He's like, no, it's none of that. You probably have PMS.
Yeah, just skips over all of her, like, sad story stuff. Man, you on PMS is probably it.
Yeah. So he recommends that she goes to some kind of clinic where they're doing some kind of trial drug for PMS.
Yes.
And so she goes and she takes the drug, And then they're on another job as the police, and her partner gets murdered during a robbery.
Yeah.
And that sets her off. It sets off, I guess, the drug that they put into her.
Mm-hmm.
And over a sudden, she becomes like the Terminator.
They stopped this couple. This guy's like, talking about like assaulting his wife, blah, blah, blah. And then she pulls him over and he gets out of the car like, what are you going to do? Blah, blah, blah. And she's just like deadpan.
Yeah, she rips his jaw out.
Out of nowhere.
It's just that's when she really went berserk. Right.
Yes. Then. Yep.
And she becomes... I am pretty sure they use 2 actresses.
Yes.
When she becomes the PMS Cop, Terminator-esque, that's a different actress. I'm almost certain of it.
Because they track her down, they bring her in.
Yeah.
They sedate her, and then I think like what you're saying, like with it's a different woman because like she grows, her hair gets longer.
Yeah.
She gets more muscular and everything like different. That.
So yeah, so now she ends up in the clinic, and now the clinic has like the evil chairman.
All this stuff in the background.
Yeah, so like the evil chairman, then you have like the evil scientist woman who has a fake accent of some kind.
I don't even know what that accent was.
Yeah.
Is it Spanish or something?
I don't know. I assume like German or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. Wasn't that his mother?
It could have been. I don't know. I didn't catch that.
Because there was this weird story about like, yeah, your father, and this just came out of nowhere. So yeah, like it becomes like basically her in the hospital terrorizing everybody.
Yeah. People. But also at the same time, the corporation that's creating this drug, the head honcho, he realizes like it's making her more powerful and stuff. Like he's like, we can harness this and sell it to the governments and make like super soldiers. So there's like the evil motivation from there. And then you just have these people that work there, like
the computer guy, the good
but she basically just kills everybody. The PMS cop, right?
Because she kills like the hacker guy, like he's tracking her, and there's that one scene where it's like, where is she?
Yeah, they figure out how to shut her down. Like, control her, like they could shut her down and stuff. But basically, she kills pretty much everybody. She goes on a rampage. And there was one kind of scene that was kind of funny. Like, to stop the PMS cop, the chairman decides to give the drug to one of his henchmen.
Yes.
Thinking that it will make him super strong too, so he could take her out. But instead, he gets the other symptoms of PMS. He just gets real emotional and he starts crying.
That was hilarious. That was great. That was awesome. I love that scene because I didn't even think of that. I was like, that's awesome. Yeah. He just falls to the ground. He didn't do anything. So that was funny. That was cool.
So basically, she ends up killing the mad scientist lady. She kills the chairman, and then she just leaves the facility, and it ends. So PMS Cop is just out and about now on a rampage, I guess. But it seems like even though she's on a rampage, she's killing villains.
Right.
She never really hurts innocent people that I can think of. So that's pretty much the rundown. What did you think? What's your rating?
PMS Cop, like I was expecting it to be a little bit more goofy. I guess I'm glad it didn't go too far. That was one of the funniest scenes where he gets all the emotions. He takes the drug and stuff like that. But I wanted to see like more. It could have been like maybe like a satire, like on like women's rights or something like that. Like it's only one time of the month she can do this, or she only goes after like domestic violence people or something like that. So I guess funny. in my very weird comedy kind of side of things, that would have been cool. But this movie, it was kind of like the gimmick sells it more than the movie, because it's like PMS Cop, and then you watch it, and then it's like, eh. So for me, it's kind of like we're doing turd rating. I would say a 2.5.
2.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, well, for one thing, I'll just get it out of the way because we talked about it in the beginning. Like when you see the title, you think this
Yeah.
is going to be outrageous and offensive. It's really not.
No.
They didn't take the gimmick overboard. Like I was braced for it, and that never came. So that was kind of good. Um, to me, this film seems like it would have been a really good short film
Yeah.
because the middle section kind of lagged a little bit when they sedated her and they brought her to the science lab. There was a lot of just nothing happening for a long time. Where if this was condensed to like 30 minutes, this would have been more entertaining. Because the
Yes.
beginning was cool. It sets it up. She becomes the PMS cop, and then at the end she goes through her rampage. So that was fun. So yeah, for me, I did enjoy it. Like I enjoyed watching it, and I would recommend it as a B movie. But it is a little meh in the
Yeah.
middle. It's just kind of let's go. So I'd say like 3 out of 5 for me. Still okay,
Yeah.
but
So
PMS Cop. The title gets you.
it does get you. That's why I wanted to check it out because I thought it was going to be like some wild stuff.
I do like your idea better with where she could only morph into PMS Cop once a month.
Once a month,
That's
she
fun.
goes after men who beat women. What else? What? Ooh, well, since we have time, Joe,
Yeah.
our pitch for PMS Cop 2.
Okay.
So, okay, I don't know. I guess we could do the same setup. It's like, a woman. Maybe she's just a mad woman. And they're like, well, you still need to go get this PMS thing. And it only occurs on her period. And then she basically goes after like woman beaters. She goes after like, I don't know. What are some other things she could go after?
Just I guess maybe just not just women guys that beat women, but just the kind of the just the goofball guys that like catcall women and stuff.
Sleazy guys,
Sleazy
the pervs,
guys,
those guys.
pimps.
Pimps. She
Pimps.
beats up pimps.
Because that would be a funny scene. You'd have to do the pimp, the stereotypical leisure suit, the whole thing.
With the hats and everything.
The hat.
Everything. You have to do pimp.
Yeah.
Or what if it's like a conspiracy she finds out, like this in her department, and without like the PMS drugs, she never finds out like there's a conspiracy with the men in the department.
Not getting into politics, but with some
it would happen.
People in politics, with the sexual harassment that goes on in
that would be huge.
It would be freaking funny. And you could tie it into a lot of stuff going on.
That would be crazy.
World.
We can make our own universe, Joe. This will be awesome. We can make our own universe. We probably offend the crap out of everybody, but we have the sequel ideas for you. We can make this thing huge. This would be awesome.
Yeah. And that was the thing about this movie. I don't think anybody would watch this movie and be like super offended.
No.
It doesn't really come across that you expect it to be, but it doesn't. So kudos to filmmakers for that, because I wasn't sure what to expect with the PMS. When I saw PMS Cop, I was like, oh God, what's coming?
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, it's an okay B movie.
It's okay, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much PMS Cop.
PMS Cop.
Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 18. PMS Cop.
I think so.
Peace.
Yeah. Deuces.